With the stacking community, there are so many positive attributes that you can lay on being a stacker. They're definitely well versed in history. They tend to keep tabs on, metals prices, markets, the economy, even politics, right? But they're also kind of underrated in a lot of ways. And one of the ways that I think they're definitely underrated is they are a funny bunch in a lot of different ways. It's crazy. So these are the same people who at times will tell you that the government produces nothing but fake data, whether it be from the jobs reports to the GDP to anything that comes out, they'll say that it's fake. And yet these same people will tell you about the threat from the BRICS nations, who you have no idea what's really going on in their economies, and they'll tell you about the BRICS nations being a threat and how they're going to create their own currency. Comedy, pure comedy. Now again, this is just one of many different ways that the stacking community is pretty hilarious. But all of these things make it where, these days it seems like you've been holding your breath from day to day, right? Whether you're an investor in precious metals, whether you're in stocks, it seems like every time that your preferred asset class starts to gain some momentum, something comes out of left field and just knocks it all the way back down. And make no mistake, that's what we're seeing here in metals, currently. Just a week, 2 weeks ago, the FOMO was out in full force. Oh, you better get it before it runs out. Oh, the entire society is going to come crashing down. The economic system is going to fail, la la la. Whatever it is, they're all out there, selling it to you, hook, line, and sinker. The interesting thing is that why do they do it, right? Why do they do it? Well, again, we know that some of them have a profit motive. Okay, that's fine. This is America. We practice market capitalism here, not pure capitalism. Economics lesson there for you. But we practice market capitalism. Hey, make that money, right? Spur the economy. Get your part. Get your piece of the cake. The interesting thing, though, is that, again, they wouldn't do it unless it worked. Just like the calls that your grandma gets from the IRS telling them to buy gift cards to pay. If those type of scams didn't work, people wouldn't do it. It works. There's always a target audience. With precious metals, like I said, these days it's always going to be something, whether it's the debt ceiling, whether it's the interest rate hikes, whether it's, the war in Ukraine. There's always going to be an angle for you to kind of think about and contemplate. And it's like I said, it always kind of seems too that, once you start to gain some traction, boom, here we go, falling right back down. With that, though, you have to understand that's the nature of a market, right? It doesn't go just straight up, and you have to have a plan, right? It doesn't even have to be a well thought out plan. Let's be realistic. Why? Because even realistically, if you have a well thought out plan, if things don't go according to plan, if you're not good at adjusting, it's not going to work. So there is some value to keeping some flexibility, but having a general idea of what it is you're trying to do. With metals, again, some people use it as an investment. Some people use it as an insurance policy. Some people use it for SHTF. Whatever it is, there's always an angle there for you to understand there's some value, right? That's why we do it. Plenty of stackers ask me, well, why do you stack if you're so negative on stacking? I'm not negative on stacking. It's just that I see that, it's not a one size fits all. And there's definitely drawbacks. Right now, the drawback is everybody's talking about it and the premiums are insane. Not the place you want to be. If you've been stacking long enough, that kind of environment where you're giving, these bullion dealers an extra 25% when you don't need to, no one wants that. Who wants that? Do you want to go to the car dealer right now and see those jacked up prices? Right? Do you think you're getting a steal? No, right? You're getting taken to the cleaners, but for some reason when it's in a shiny package, you think all of a sudden you're getting a deal. It's not everything that some people think it is. And that's fine. Again, it's their money, right? They can throw their money at anything, whatever they want. Right? Burn it if you want to. Great. It doesn't hurt me. The key is, though, again, at the end, you kind of got to take everything with a grain of salt in the stocking community, including me. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Go hire a financial advisor to tell you what to do. That's not my job to tell you what to do with metals. My job is just to talk things through, give you some context, give you some food for thought that maybe you take one thing that I say and say, oh, okay, maybe he has a point there. He may have everything else wrong, but maybe there's some fine grain of sand there, about what he said. Great. Excellent. It costs you nothing. It costs me nothing. Excellent. But again, I digress. the stacking community is a funny community. There's a lot of humor there. There's a lot of sarcasm. There's a lot of haterade. I love it. I love the hate in the comments. You know, anytime I talk about, you know, our favorite usual suspects, Yankee or, you know, other channels, and people get all upset. You shouldn't bash other channels. I'm not bashing other channels. It's just, you know, it's good-natured ribbing. Let's call it that. I mean, honestly, Yankee has put out so much good content, brought so much awareness, different things like that. Great. You know, there's a lot of great channels right now. I mean, honestly, let me just rail off a few of them. Silver Oceans. Plenty of you know Silver Oceans. He's also here in Cali, although he's a little further south than I am. But he talks about a lot of things that are pertinent to the stocking community. You know, CBDC, how is that going to play in? You know, the economy, the markets, other stuff like that. He has a lot of great guests that he, you know, does interviews with. Great knowledge. Again, you know, lots to offer to the community. He also does, you know, live streams and auctions and things like that. Great channel. You got T the Silver Stacker. If you're interested in, you know, foreign silver, T does so many interviews with coin shop owners. I feel like he must live in like some magical place, the tri-state area that just has coin shop after coin shop after coin shop. It's nuts. They must see him coming a mile away. I have no doubt. They see him walk through the door and they're like, I'm getting interviewed today. He does an amazing job. He actually, watching his channel, unfortunately, got me into Mexican silver, like Libertads. And now I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how badly I want a proof Libertad, a reverse proof Libertad. Even though they're insanely expensive, it's just like the reverse proof Eagle. I look at it and I'm just like, maybe if I just get one, it'll be fine. Is it a good purchase? It's absolutely not a good purchase. It's a terrible waste of money on a proof silver, you know, Libertad. 1 ounce of silver. How many stackers would tell you silver is silver? They're right. They are absolutely right. But at the end of the day, I mean, if it's a little shinier than the other one, I mean, does it make it worth an extra couple $100? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. The only solace I take in a purchase like that is that at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure there's a bigger sucker than me that's willing to buy it from me at a higher price at some point. As long as I, you know, can rationalize it that way, great. Then I can make that purchase with a smile on my face, hold it, look at it, you know, spend that money on something that's going to protect me from Joe Biden. Speaking of Biden, did you see Biden today, you know, with Kevin McCarthy and Kamala Harris and what's his name, the Senate Majority Leader what's his name? I can see him with his little glasses. Oh my god, this is going to be frustrating. I can't believe I can't remember his name. His name is Senate Majority Leader. You see, that's how completely ambiguous he is and non-memorable that I can't even remember his name. Now, you know, the old witch, Nancy Pelosi, you can remember that name, right? You can picture her in front of, like, you know, the big witch's cauldron, you know, stirring it up. That's the kind of, you know, those are the kind of leaders, too, that you want. I mean, Kevin McCarthy, he kind of looks like Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. And then you got, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert that look kind of like the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. I mean, that's what I love about our politics. They're all just, you know, they're all just terrible at the end of the day. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. But anyway, in this video on the bottom, I'm going to tag a few random channels, not anything to do with stacking, but really for that period of time where it's just like your day's going terrible and you just need that one laugh to kind of redirect, to kind of make you laugh and get you back on track. I've noticed that, you know, there's so many good channels out there that make shorts content that is just funny. That's just like, you know, everything else can be going bad, but if you get that one laugh, it just kind of makes you laugh at everything. I don't know if you're like that, but I'm definitely like that. When I'm having a bad day, I can watch something that just makes me laugh and I'm just like, you know what, it really wasn't that big a deal. Why am I upset? So I'm going to link a few of those just for your enjoyment. And yeah, I mean, honestly, taking stacking with a lighthearted approach makes it so much easier, because as an investment, as an insurance policy, all of these other serious things that we try to attribute to, you know, this hobby of stacking, it makes it really hard. It really makes it a very serious thing where you're trying to have this grand plan of how you're going to stack. The problem is that, I mean, realistically, so much else is out of your control. Yes, These kind of things give you the illusion of control over a lot of things, but the reality is this type of control is a very small part of the picture.